Welcome to the bold analysis. The UDA house is coming down very fast. And sometimes I tend to reconcile with those analysts and a host of politicians who have come out in public to say that people should not even struggle with UDA because even President William Ruto himself is not going to struggle with the UDA. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at this statement from Millicent Omanga. She just did a tweet this night, and this is what she's saying. Governor Sakaja has sent a bus of load over 40 county askaris to my business premises to arrest me and my staff simply because I am not supporting him for the Nairobi County UDA chairperson. Sakaja is an illiterate coward who thinks he can intimidate me, and he shared some of those, some of those videos. These are the askaris that went to Millicent Omanga's premise. Millicent Omanga is one of William Ruto's key campaigners and part of the founder and ranking members of the UDA party. In fact, if you ask me, Sakaja is a latecomer compared to Millicent Omanga. So it is this side of it. Number one, it could be true and there could be legitimate reasons why Sakaja has dispatched the team to raid Millicent Omanga's premises. But that could also mean that she had failed to pay some taxes. County askaris maybe are looking for levies and so. Maybe there are some rates that are supposed to be collected and they are still pending. One thing I've realized is the video you're seeing was taken at night. It's always somewhere at night. So I would wonder why night, because the businesses that are normally outlawed and people normally visit at night could be bars. But from the look of things, it was not a bar. And then secondly, this video has been unreleased. The person that apparently might have taken this video is outside. And then there is also another video taken when the bus, by someone who is actually inside that bus. So you will see the infighting about it. Two things. The person that might have taken the first video outside could have been just someone who was placed when Nani realized. So he took it maybe because it's an amateur video. Then someone inside that that bus that was carrying the county askaris was also there. So that is the first bit of it. Just because of that, it lacks, it fails to meet an objective of a very good motive of collecting that money. If collecting some land, if that is the objective. That is the first bit. Number two, she is saying that Sakaja is going after her because she's not in Team Sakaja in the UDA elections that are going on. It's supposed to be done in Nairobi. Sakaja is facing Gakuya in seeking to be the chairperson of UDA in Nairobi. And I want to just explain well. Millicent Omanga was even appointed a CAS, even though those positions were scrapped by court. The court said those positions are not very legitimate, are not legal. And I want to understand that Sakaja cannot execute such without the blessings of the big state, the deep state. It must have the blessings of the deep state. And so that is why I understand if William Ruto commissioned this operation to be done, be it in terms of a threat, because no one has been arrested, then someone is just sending a warning. To the best of my knowledge, William Ruto is sending a warning to the leaders from Nairobi that you need to support Sakaja. Because I want to ask you, if you are also a UDA leader and you support Gakuya, Gakuya is allied towards Rigathi Gachagua. And you're just seeing that Millicent Omanga's business premises have been raided. And have been raided simply, and she's saying it's alluding to the fact that she's supporting Gakuya. What will that mean? The signal here is maybe I am next. So there is a critical message that it was to be sent here. Number one, Ruto was sending a warning that kindly and please stop associating with the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's camp that is supporting Gakuya. That's number one. The other angle of this raid could be a business gone wrong between Millicent Omanga and Johnson Sakaja. That is the other angle. Because we understand Millicent Omanga is not in office, but she's been flaunting very huge machines, big cars that she's bought, and Kenyans have been asking, so where do you get the money? The county government of Nairobi is one of the cash cow for some of these politicians. Oscar Sudi got a tender in this county. And I'm also seeing a possibility that there is an issue of breakdown between Sakaja and Millicent Omanga. That cannot be wished away. And so this is just part of, now, you know, maybe Sakaja is sending in a message that please make sure things are right. Last, the other third angle, the other third observation that could be behind this, there is a breakdown in UDA, lack of synergy, that lack of that togetherness. Because I just want to ask it this way. Even if Ruto is supporting Sakaja, and he knows that leader X, Y, and W are not in that camp and are supporting Gakuya, and President Ruto is one of the leaders in the UDA that always struggled to ensure that everything he does is actually kept under the wraps and doesn't come in public. So what this means, if you ask me, is that people have decided to pick the sword. That is probably to understand with the sword. And for politicians, quite a number of them doesn't agree. They don't like what's going on, but they can't come out and speak. Because probably if you speak, your file is lying somewhere in DPP's office, KRA office, Nairobi County, this and that. And they'll just go to pick one of your files that is gathering dust in one of the offices. And within a minute, your world will be crumbling. The politicians survive with these deals. They don't survive with the salaries, by the way. They survive with that tender, that business. That is where they survive. And secondly, part of their survival is money gotten not in the right way. So those are the three understandings that I can interpret from that video. But then, let me pick it. The other one that is also huge, in which she has also said, for her to come out and say that Sakaja is against me because I don't support her, it's also not a coincidence, because surely there is elections in Nairobi. The UD elections are going on. And let me speak about it a bit. The biggest con, that UD elections is a big con. They do, grassroots, ward, constituency, then they come up with the delegates, and the delegates are supposed to go and vote for the county chairperson. And I saw that and I was like, oh, this is cosmetic. I don't know whether UDA is trying that at the UD elections. They try to float that at the national elections. Maybe we need to think around it. So that, that strategy, or the way it is done, it already creates, it thrives on bribe. UDA have 340 delegates in Nairobi. One of the candidates, Sakaja, recently hosted some of these delegates in Bomas. And after Bomas, they were well oiled. They were well funded. They were given cash, this and that, and this and that. Now, these 340 delegates, if William Ruto wants them to vote for Sakaja, you know, what they need to do here is about resources. And I want to believe Gakuya, who is a member of parliament, and Sakaja have many resources at his disposal currently compared to Gakuya, who is allied towards the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. So it's already an architecture, it's already a strategy that will make the system produce its own candidate that can win. And Gakuya, and that is why Gakuya has also said, he went to Kameme FM and he said, if he loses the Nairobi chairperson seat, then that will mark the end of UDA in Nairobi. That he will engineer a mass exodus of members from UDA party in Nairobi. That statement cannot be taken lightly. Probably you would actually attribute to that as to be the reason why then someone is going after Millicent Omanga. But how fast things change, because sometimes when they happen to such politicians like Millicent Omanga, you will not even sympathize with them, because if it is the other person, it's always in order. When Matiang'i was raided, Matiang'i's residence was raided, it was business as usual. When Kinoti Sun film shop in Nairobi here, CBD was raided, it was business as usual. So people have always taken it's easy when it's fighting the other end. And that's why I agree with those who say Raila made a very good decision to keep off Kenya Kwanza. You know, now they got a common enemy in Raila. So fighting Raila was uniting them. I'm telling you today, if Raila will become an enemy, Ruto and Rigathi will start speaking the same thing, because coincidentally they want to speak about it. Even if they are not in the same situation, they are not in the same plate with it, in the same lineage with it, but they want to talk about it because Ruto is talking about it. In fact, I once realized that Rigathi was just saying things without even consulting. And so, I don't want to go about Rigathi. What are the stakes? Because Ruto is supporting Sakaja. Rigathi Gachagua is supporting Gakuya. And Sakaja has come out to attack Rigathi, that Rigathi has been against him. Sakaja has also been, Rigathi have also been insisting that Sakaja got the Kikuyu vote in Nairobi because he supported Sakaja. And the story kept on spinning. And I'm looking at President Ruto and I'm wondering, you want to tell us that you want to use Sakaja to get Nairobi vote? There is more than what catches the eye. And so let's look at the stakes in this. What exactly is the stake? Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos, and thank you very much for support. Number one, if there is something that William Ruto is struggling to do, is to run, despite of saying, you know, we don't, there is a merger between ANC and UDA. And that merger between ANC, UDA and Ford Kenya, one of the candidates, one of the positions, strategic positions in that is actually Nairobi governor. Remember, Sakaja was ANC before he silently crossed over to join UDA, but he was supposed to vie through ANC. But Ruto wanted the UDA to be the Nairobi governor to be in the UDA. So he understands very well that he wants to use Sakaja for the Nairobi governor seat as part of that merger. It will be part of the narrative, I protect the Luyas. It's part of the Luya card that Ruto struggles to use in Nairobi. And still on that, we want campaigns. Nairobi campaigns will be very critical. And I think with Governor Sakaja at stake, he wants Sakaja to fund Nairobi campaigns. Yes, it's always possible. It's possible. You can be told to fund. I remember even in ODM, some MPs voluntarily do come to fund some of the ODM activities. Number two, The second stake in Nairobi is that seat is critical for 2022 succession politics in this country. I am telling you. Between 2032 to 2027, we are going to witness fireworks. Leave alone this. Hey, it's going to be fire. Between 2032 to 2027, it's going to be fire. I think whatever you're having, just the tip of the iceberg. And Nairobi seat is very critical. Something that I've been seeing all over. The Nairobi seat can only be clinched by a very, it goes on those who are pro Kikuyu, Kamba, Luhya, Luo. You need that to be on your side. I've always said, Jubilee just presented the wrong candidate. Not Jubilee, and Azimio just presented the wrong candidate. If you would have given that ticket to Tim Wanyonyi, he would have shown Sakaja dust. But quite a number of people, it didn't, that ticket. And the running mate, I don't know, who was Tim Wanyonyi, who was Nini's running mate? Very weak. So to some extent, the running mate to Rigathi was some gentleman from Kamba. So that ticket was a bit weak. And I think it is very clear that people are looking at this seat. Number 3, and Sakaja will see this. Ruto wants to sacrifice Sakaja for Nairobi vote. He understands very well Nairobi is the most affected by finance bill. Nairobi is most affected by these demolitions. Nairobi high work. Yes, Nairobi doesn't work. And part of problems, if there is a place President Ruto he can do rallies anyway, but in Nairobi he tries to avoid Nairobi. Why? Because Nairobi is hot. And I can tell you at the opportune time, he wants to put Sakaja and fatten Sakaja for slaughter. By the time they will be getting to elections, Sakaja will carry the burden. Of course he has failed. And of course, and that's why he wants to have him on the other side. The other aspect, I think Ruto understands very well that if Rigathi gets the Nairobi UDA chairperson, then he would easily use that position to swing the Kikuyu vote in 2027. And maybe it is part of making the UDA chairperson, if you become a UDA chairperson in Nairobi, Kikuyu becomes UDA chairperson in Nairobi, what does it mean? Do you expect him to go back and vie as an MP? No. He would vie for the governor seat. And Ruto understands it is part of the packaging to present a Kikuyu candidate, a powerful Kikuyu candidate to battle it out with Sakaja in 2027. And lastly, I think there is a scramble for the city hall. Oh my goodness. That is everything. Leave alone, Sakaja knows he cannot go back. But then in Nairobi, we end as 2 terms. Hey, you cannot. It's not very easy, at least not now. Nairobi is dynamic. It's different than any other county. So he understands very well that things are not well, and probably it's part of the scramble for the tenders. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. I don't think it's also fair, but we should know whether Millicent Omanga is being raided because of some tax arrears or anything. But if it is politics, we vow that never again shall we use the police to run our politics. Thank you.
Hello guys, so as I promised you guys that we will be supporting these families. I'm already at Mikuru Kwayaba, that's what I'm saying the name. And this is the nearest primary school around this place because we could not go for field and because of promotion. When we go there, then maybe things will turn very chaotic. So these are the families. Already 9 they are waiting for Mzebu and yeah, so thank you. This is the families we want to support. And I also want to urge this that it doesn't end here. The need is still big. There are also still infants, and you can still get to me. I will still be able to link you up with 1 or 2 families. But even if you want to support more, yeah, but we needed also to do our part as involved, and I just want to thank you for having done this.
Asante sana, mbarikiwe.
Okay.
Wengine watatu hata mpige tu. Ile tu. Mzee.
Mama tu hapo. Mama hapo.
Okay, habari zenu tena. Jinsi nilisema, mimi naitwa Ndege, mkaaji wa Landimawe, Kayaba, Mukuru. Kwanza ninachukua hii fursa kusema asante sana kwa wenye wamekuja kutusaidia. Kwa hivi sasa nyumba tulishapata, ni ile hela ya kulipa hiyo nyumba ndio hatukuwa nayo, lakini kwa uwezo wa Mwenyezi Mungu, Mungu ametenda. Pesa ndio hizi tumepata na tunaenda kulipa hizo nyumba zetu, hatutalala tena kwa baridi. Naye muendelee na kusaidia watu wengine, isiwe ni sisi peke yetu, sababu watu wameathirika pale wengi, bado wanalala kwa hiyo kiwanja mahali tulikuwa tunalala. Tunashukuru sana, Mungu awabariki.
Before tuende kwa wengine, I want to add one here. There are people, and guys, there are people that normally they are not sensing in the picture. Anne is one person that has been coordinating this. She's behind this, and I just want us atatuambia tu one word, and thank you very much. Asante sana for having been behind this, for working in the community. You are a warrior, and I know that you are amongst people that normally are not celebrated, but we thank God that even think, but we also need to celebrate Anne, because Anne is also another person that we can say something.
Thank you. I am Anne Kanini, a community representative in Nyayo location. Kazi yangu ni kusaidia watu wale ambao wanapata shida tofauti, hasa katika huu mkasa wa floods. Katika ile hali I was able to identify watu ambao wamekosa makazi, na ninashukuru the board team for coming through kuweza kusaidia hizi jamaa. Ukiangalia hapa George ni mzee ambaye ni mzee sana, kuna hapa Dani ni mzee sana. Wakikaa nje kwangu ilikuwa inaumiza moyo, kwa sababu nyumba yangu pia ni ndogo, haiwezi watosha. And for the people who have come through to support these people, may God bless you for doing something which is good, ambayo itazuia wasipate magonjwa, kukaa kwa baridi kunaleta magonjwa, na hata ile insecurity, they can be harmed. Kwa hivyo God bless you and continue doing the good work. Personally, mimi nimejitolea kuwasaidia watu katika hili eneo la Mukuru kwa Tanyayo. Asanteni kwa kutushika mkono.
And I want us to pray, but before we pray, I just want to put a point to you guys. This need is still there, and I was just talking with Anne behind the scenes. She was telling me that quite a number that are still there. So even in your own individual capacity, I closed the fundraiser yesterday, and I finished this program here, but it's not ending because the solution is not coming to an end. There are still other people.
Kasema asante, kasema asante, kasema asante, ewe Mungu wangu. Baba, katika jina la Yesu Kristo tunasema ni asante kwa sababu ya wema wako na fadhili zako ambazo hudumu milele na milele. Hakika Bwana, katika hili janga umetuletea watu ambao ni roho safi, ambao wamesaidia Baba hawa watu wetu ambao kuanzia hii dakika wanaenda kulipa nyumba na kupata hata kupumzika katika nyumba zao. Uinuliwe na uimidiwe. Kwa wale wote waliochanga, Bwana wa majeshi, tutamka neno la baraka, ukawabariki maradufu katika jina la Yesu Kristo mwana wa Mungu. Ni kwa ajili ya Kelvin, ni kwa ajili ya Brian na timu yao yote Baba, ukapate na kuwabariki. Asante Baba, ni kwa ajili ya hii timu wanapotoka hapa na kuanza maisha mapya katika maeneo mapya. Mungu utaweza kuwalinda na kuwaongoza. Asante ni kwa ajili yangu Baba, ninapoenda kufanya hii kazi nzuri katika hii community, neema yako ikanitoshe. Tunakushukuru kwa ajili ya mwalimu Simon, amekuwa ni wa baraka kwa wenyeji wa huu mtaa Bwana wa majeshi, naye ukambariki katika kiwango kingine, ukafungua milango ya baraka kwa ajili yake. Tunapoachana ukatulinde, inuliwa mfalme, na ni katika jina la Yesu tunaomba na kuamini. Amen.